Thank you so much. If you see me looking at a different, I'm trying to work these cameras on my laptop. I am also on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you all for joining. I see some new faces. I have been doing this Black, Brown, and Beyond Exhausted for about 2 weeks, this special series, and I am coming to you with part 5. So the beginning series, I talked about my own bout with burnout. I've talked about painting the picture of real life to see if you could relate. A lot of you did. We talked about the myths, and we also talked about the historical threads of why Black and Brown people in America are especially prone to burnout and why our situation is a little bit different. So, while we've been talking about all of that, I want to start bridging us over to what's the possibilities. So, thank you so much for joining the series. It's very short. I hope you are grabbing lunch. You got your bottle of water, you got your notepad, everything else. So, thank you all. Let me take a minute to make sure my Facebook audience sees me. And if you're still watching, put in the comments where you're watching from. If you're watching this later, tell me. I'll go back to look at the comments. All right, I think my Facebook audience can see me now. All right, so let's get into this. So again, early on, I did paint the title of my second series was like burnout in real life. And so if you can recall, if you haven't, please go back and check that out, especially on my YouTube page, YouTube at Aaron Wheeler PhD. I talked about how it feels in real life. So, we walk around like these unsuccessful type zombies, right? I'm sorry, successful, unhappy zombies. We can't sleep. And when we do, and we wake up the next day, we're dreading the next day. I remember myself having headaches when I woke up. We surviving off of basically caffeine IV drips in the morning, wine IV drips in the evening. We're not eating regularly. When we do, we're grabbing junk, nothing whole. We have no energy, no desire to work out. We're delaying and say, hey, I'll just work out next day. I'll work out this weekend. And it never happens, right? Because we're never putting ourselves first. We're surviving back to back meetings without recharging or doing anything to maintain our focus. Thank you so much for joining. We're isolating from our friends. We're snapping on our family. We're silently suffering. We're abandoning things that give us joy and energy. That's how some of us are going through this life, right? And so being burnout or exiting burnout is not about immediately changing your situation. For myself, I know that you really can't. Sometimes it's very hard to get out of a situation. Nobody can afford, not nobody, but most people can't afford to just quit their jobs until something better comes along. I remember for me, my first job where I really, really felt it, I knew I couldn't escape. I really was preparing to leave without a exit plan, but we get to a point where we just need a change. And the only thing we could change is ourselves, right? And so while painting the picture of what burnout looks like, what if we paint the picture of what thriving looks like? So I want you to kind of picture it. This is just I'm putting together everybody. I tried to get the single folk, the married folk. Thank you so much for joining me on IG. Just be Michelle. And so I want you to kind of picture. We never get to picture the good. We're just so caught up in the present and what it is and how we want to get out, but we never picture the good. So follow along this story with me. I want you to create your own life script. I'll try, like I said, I'll try to get everybody's narrative: single, married, with kids, without kids, old, young, all of that. So you started your day, you wake up, Nobody really wants to work for a living. Let's just take that factor out. But when you have to, you either want to wake up and do something that you enjoy or that's something where you can make a difference, right? And so you wake up feeling grateful for just life itself. You're not dreading it. You're not like, oh, I got to go to work today. You may have a couple of days like that, but it's not all days, right? Your morning begins peacefully with the sacred morning ritual where you get yourself centered, grounded, and prepared for the day ahead. You get to hear your own thoughts before somebody calls your name, before those intrusive negative thoughts enter. You grab your glass of water. That's key. You don't grab a glass of coffee first. It's a glass of water. Turn on your favorite music, your favorite sermon, your inspirational message. You open the windows, let the sun in. If you're waking up when the sun is out, you begin to prepare breakfast, or you pack your own lunch, or you begin to get your clothes together, the clothes and lunch and breakfast together for your family. You do this in kind of a peaceful way. You're not rushing. You're not, yelling at your kids to get their stuff. You may just take this time to read a book or journal, just plan out your day. You may read the news. It's not a rush type of situation, right? And then you find a way to work in, you get moving. You might be a jogger, which I am not. You might be a walker, not even a power walker, but just a pray and walk kind of person. Or you may be a gym rat, something that I really, really do want to be. I really do want to love the gym and exercising to where I'm just like ready to go. Not there yet, but almost. But your morning is active. You're waking up your body, you're waking up your senses. You're doing something for you. And now that you're fully awake, you're ready to dominate the day. You may be going to a job you absolutely love. You may be going to a job that you're just trying to get it in, but something's better is coming up. But in either case, you identify the most crucial task of the day and you smash it early. You blocked out your time on your calendar. You put your away message on your Slack. You put your away message on your calendar. You block out and say you're busy. You close your email, silence your phone, and you get it done. However, that happens in a perfect world, but in real life, somebody knocks on your door with some BS. And the changes, you politely advocate yourself instead of, attending to their needs. You say, can this wait later? I have something to do. You stay focused, you get it done. Knowing that you still have a full day ahead, you feel a little bit confident because you knocked something off your day. You chop down this project a little bit more. You find 5 minutes to take a walk outside, grab a snack, a glass of water. Knowing your next meeting has potential to stress you out, you take an extra minute. You don't rush. Everybody's rushing to the conference room or rushing back to the Zoom. You take just 1 minute to just center yourself and say, hey, whatever comes out of this meeting, I'm going to handle. I'm not going to let anybody get me out of my emotions. I'm going to smile. I'm going to speak up when needed, but I'm not going to let them stress me out. As you have predicted, a meeting runs over, spills into your lunch break. Your boss wants to have a meeting after the meeting. That happens, right? And so instead of rushing to the office because you still feel pressed the way you just got to say yes to everybody, even though that is your boss, you're not intimidated. You're still advocating for yourself. So you say, hey, can I have 20 minutes to grab my lunch? I'll meet you there. And so although your break has been cut short, you still find a way to leave the office and eat in peace and unplug for just a few minutes, right? And so the last part of your day is getting, it wasn't as planned, but you still have some fires to put out, some more impromptu meetings, more scheduled meetings. You may have pushed something around, moved something around. You may have even delegated something else to someone else to do to lighten your load. But you're looking at the clock and it is getting late. Late as in it's almost time for me to get off. I'm not staying late. I'm not staying till the sun goes down. That is it for me. But you still have to wrap up your to-do list. You let your coworkers know at this last meeting you have a hard stop at a certain time. This allows you to finish your tasks that are priorities and leave the office at a decent time. As you're reviewing your calendar, having a little peaceful time at the end you set aside to reflect and organize your day for the next day, you realize you've been going at a fast pace for the last 3 weeks. It's project is coming to the end, but it's had a few delays, we're not on time, so you have to really kick it up. It's okay. You just you look at your calendar and you proactively schedule some mental health days over the next 3 weeks, so you could tell your team, your staff, or whoever you need to report to that, hey, I have some days on these are my days. We're going to clear it out. I need to draw a line. Just know I'm gonna be out. There's no spilling over to this time. I need to be off. So you put some days on your calendar proactively. You leave the office. You leave the office in the afternoon to handle all of your responsibilities and things that delight you. So you're not working late. You get your stuff done. You know there's a pause. There's a boundary in between that, and you've just conquered that. And so now it's your afternoon. Now it's time for whatever it is, family, friends, community. So whatever you have to do, whether it's picking up your kids, or you playing auntie or uncle duty, checking on your loved ones. Your parents may be elderly, or your grandparents may be elderly. That may be the time that you do it. You may schedule a phone call with a sibling or a friend that you haven't talked to, that you need to connect with. Might be running errands, or going to the gym, or catching up with a friend, or even catching a midweek worship service. But whatever it is, you've cut off that work time, and you made some time for things that are important to you. And now it's the evening. Although the sun is setting, you still have some work stuff circling. It might be a conversation that you've had that's still kind of in your head. But instead of going and doing some work at home, you just do a brain dump and write a list of what needs to be done tomorrow. Put your work emails on silent, your phone on silent, and you leave work right there. By this time, your family time takes over, whether it's dinner or solo hobbies, quality time with a partner, or personal passions. This is your evening. This might be your side time. You do work on your side hustle that you write, that you like. You're writing a book, or you're doing a podcast, or you're reading, or put together a puzzle. No matter what it is, this is just your time to do whatever you like. Again, even that has a boundary. So you're still not working too late and skipping out on sleep. This is just like your chill routine. You could fold in with a good book, a meditation app. You might binge your favorite show just for a little bit, scroll on YouTube for a little bit more. But you cut off the screens, and you start to drift off to sleep, and you fall asleep grateful and ready to do it again. And you're able to sleep through the night. You get your 7 or 8 hours you need, and you repeat, right? So this ideal day does not mean that there's without challenge. You won't be able to control your coworkers. You might not be able to leave that toxic job right away. But what this does, or what exiting burnout is actually having control and advocating for yourself, so you can be in a position to be successful, and show up the best version. What burnout is the cycle is when you don't have energy to do any of this. It is and going back to that ideal day, it's a day where you control your time, you advocate for yourself, you protect your boundaries, you make deliberate choices. So that's why I pointed out, the grabbing water, grabbing a snack, fixing your meals, going for a walk, even if it might be shortened to 10 minutes, or you grabbing a break, might be shortened to 2 or 5, but you're making deliberate choices to honor your body, your mind, and your soul. And you seize opportunities to recharge and remember your priorities, which are the people we love and the things we're passionate about. But when you're in a cycle of burnout, you don't have the energy to do any of this. You're just on autopilot. That's why I said we're successful, unhappy zombies. We got success, we got the title, but we're unhappy. We're just going on autopilot, just saying yes to anything. And you might even not mean your nose, but you're hungry and you're agitated and you're thirsty and you're tired. And so you just have an attitude that's still on autopilot, right? And you're not present. You're not checking in with yourself. You're not checking in with your family. You're not even checking into the world around you. You're not paying attention. You're just here, right? And so just existing is not living. And so that's just not living the best life. And so I challenge you. I give a challenge every time. I challenge you to script out your own life. This is something that I did. I wanted a life. I did this several times. The most recent was before I made the transition from full-time employment to self-employment. Before I left, I said I want to take control because I'll end up doing the same thing that I did before. I'll end up filling my days with other people's stuff and being busy and burnt out. And this is stuff I love. I don't want to burn out. I want to continue to do this for a long time. And for the entrepreneurs that are watching, there's a lot of people that's been on Instagram and LinkedIn who have wonderful stuff, and then you don't see it anymore. I didn't want to be one of those people. So I scripted out my perfect week and I scripted out what I wanted to do. I did that even in my worst part of my burnout. How did I want my life to be? Yes, I wanted to go to the gym and I wanted to love it. I wanted to have time for family. I didn't want to come to Thanksgiving just like, can we eat so I can do, I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to be better. I wanted to be present with my family, enjoy the time because life is short and these people are leaving here, right? And you don't want to have any regrets. And so I started to create my own version of what I wanted. And little by little, I am here. And so I want to keep it here. So that's why I'm always trying to say, what is it that I want? And so I want you to script that out for yourself. Write down what you want your perfect day, week to be, how you want to react, respond, how you want people to perceive you. All of those things, I want you to visualize it, see yourself thriving. And then once you can do that, you can start making choices so you can show up how you want to be. And so if you like this content and you want to have more days where you're in control, more days of peace, more days where you can have the moments that you need to take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, even if you're in chaos, I'm not saying that you need to have that your whole world is going to change. People are not going to change and you may not be able to quit right away. But what you can do is shift your thoughts and shift what you can control. So if you want that, I am doing this wonderful masterclass. It's like my second since 2020. I did my first one in 2020, but this masterclass is called, oh, thank you, Plan Execute. Thank you so much. I am doing a masterclass called From Chaos to Calm, How to Escape Burnout Even When You Think You Can't Afford to. And so it's December 6th. It's free. You can, if you're on IG, the link is in my bio. Register for that as soon as you can. And then I'll outline exactly what I did. Again, my world didn't change when I did that. It was just me. I changed the way I thought and went about my life. And this shy, timid girl started advocating for herself and saying no to people. And that was so hard for me. But the other stuff that I did, hi, Courtney Henderson. Thank you for joining. The other things that I did, I'll share in this webinar. And I'll be really excited to dig in a little bit more than what we're doing on these lives. But I'm really excited for it. So please register if you're on LinkedIn and YouTube. I'm going to post it here. From Chaos to Calm, you can go and register at Gracefully Productive /webinars. It is totally free. Invite your friends in the year strong. And I will see you on December 6th at 7:30 Central. And I'll see you again tomorrow where I start to introduce some of the things to get you thinking about how do we practically escape burnout and how does that look in real life. So thank you so much for spending your lunchtime. I think it's most people's lunchtime. My lunchtime is usually at 11 because I'm greedy. But it's 11 somewhere. So thank you so much. Thank you. I'm seeing some new faces. Totally grateful for you. So thank you, Plan and Execute. I love what you're doing. So let's connect sometime off IG. And for everybody on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, thank you so much for joining. Enjoy your day and catch me tomorrow. I think 12:30 works better for everybody. So I'm gonna come to you tomorrow at 12:30 Central. Thank you and be blessed.